The Empire tried to break Earth's spirit. Instead, they awoke humanity's Wrath Admiral. Thekvar stared at the blue marble suspended in the void, its surface scarred by orbital bombardment. 3 years of siege, and still the humans fought. Their cities lay in ruins, their fleets scattered, their colonies captured, yet they refused to surrender. It defied all logic. "Status report," he commanded, his forearms clasped behind his back. "Sir, the humans have destroyed another supply convoy near the asteroid belt," reported Commander Zix. "Casualties, 700 Caltharian soldiers." Thekvar's mandibles clicked in frustration. According to every military doctrine in the Empire's vast database, Earth should have surrendered within months. The humans possessed inferior technology, smaller numbers, and no significant allies. By all calculations, this should have been a simple conquest. But humans, it seemed, didn't follow calculations. The siege began when Earth rejected the Empire's generous offer of protective membership, a euphemism for total subjugation. The Caltharian Empire had absorbed 3,000 species across the galaxy, using the same method: overwhelming force followed by cultural assimilation. It was efficient, predictable, and profitable. Earth was supposed to be different only in its speed of surrender. Down on the planet's surface, Dr. Sarah Chen crouched in the ruins of what had once been Geneva. The underground laboratory hummed with activity as scientists and engineers worked by candlelight and salvaged power cells. Above them, Caltharian ships blotted out the stars. "The quantum resonance chambers are ready," announced Dr. Patel, his face gaunt from months of rationed meals. "But Sarah, we don't even know if this will work. The energy requirements alone." "It'll work," Sarah interrupted, her eyes fixed on the equations covering every available wall surface. "It has to work." 3 years ago, she had been a theoretical physicist studying exotic matter. Now she was humanity's last hope, working on a project born from desperation and fueled by something the Empire couldn't understand: spite. The Caltharians had made a fundamental miscalculation. They assumed that breaking humanity's infrastructure would break their spirit. Instead, it had stripped away everything that made humans civilized, leaving behind something far more dangerous: humans with nothing left to lose. Captain Maria Santos piloted her jury-rigged fighter through the debris field that had once been Luna Station. Her ship was a patchwork of human engineering and salvaged alien technology, held together by determination and prayer. Behind her, a dozen similar craft followed in formation. "Remember," she broadcast to her squadron, "we're not trying to win today. We're buying time for the Phoenix Protocol." None of them spoke about what the Phoenix Protocol actually was. They'd been told only that it was their final gambit. But Maria had seen the look in Sarah Chen's eyes, and she knew it was something that would either save humanity or damn it entirely. The Caltharian patrol appeared on sensors, 6 heavy cruisers escorting a command ship. Under normal circumstances, Maria's fighters wouldn't have lasted 30 seconds. But these weren't normal circumstances, and Maria's pilots weren't fighting to survive. They were fighting to make every death count. They struck like lightning, using the debris field for cover. Maria's missiles found the gap in the lead cruiser's shields, the explosion taking out its main reactor. 2 more fighters died in the counterattack, but the command ship's communications array went dark. "Phoenix Control, this is Reaper Squadron," Maria transmitted. "Package delivered. Light it up." Deep beneath Earth's surface, Sarah Chen's hand hovered over the activation switch. The quantum resonance chambers contained every bit of exotic matter. Humanity had managed to create or steal over 3 years of war. If her calculations were correct, it would create a localized tear in spacetime, sending a pulse of pure energy through hyperspace itself. If she was wrong, it would crack the planet like an egg. "Initiating Phoenix Protocol," she whispered, and pressed the switch. Admiral Thekvar was reviewing casualty reports when every screen on his flagship went white. The ship's artificial gravity failed, emergency klaxons wailed, and something impossible happened. Every piece of Caltharian technology, within 100 light-years, simply stopped working. Ships died in space, their crews trapped in metal coffins. Orbital platforms crashed into planets. Communication networks spanning the galaxy went silent. In a single moment, 3,000 years of Caltharian technological supremacy vanished like smoke. But human technology, cruder, more primitive, built on different principles entirely, kept functioning. The first human ships appeared within hours, emerging from hidden bases throughout the solar system. Then came transmissions from the colonies everyone thought had been captured. They had been playing dead, waiting for this moment. Finally, signals arrived from deep space, the human diaspora, scattered refugees who had been building a fleet in the darkness between stars. Admiral Thekvar, floating helplessly in the command center of his powerless dreadnought, watched through the viewports as human vessels surrounded his fleet. His proud armada, masters of the galaxy for millennia, had been reduced to floating scrap in the span of minutes. A communication channel crackled to life. Somehow impossibly, the humans could still transmit. "This is Admiral Chen of the Terran Defense Force," came a voice that sounded eerily calm. "You came here to break our spirit. Instead, you taught us what we're truly capable of when pushed to the edge. Your choice is simple: unconditional surrender, or we'll show you what humanity does to genocidal empires." Thekvar stared at the blue marble that had defied his calculations. Earth still bore the scars of his bombardment, but now those scars seemed less like wounds and more like war paint. The Empire had tried to break Earth's spirit and had awakened something far worse: humanity's wrath, backed by the desperate genius of a species with nothing left to lose and everything to prove. For the first time in Caltharian history, an admiral of the Empire transmitted his unconditional surrender. The age of human expansion was about to begin.